Hi everyone, Leanne here. How you going? Now I'm making some tickets. Yes, they're tickets. That's right. And I'm going to show you how I made them. Now they're good for ephemera. Put in your journals. Can you see that? Alright, I've just used a stamp and that one's cardstock. This is like computer paper. I've used a stamp. I've edged them. I've cut them out. I've used my little thermometer jig, whatever you call it, what do you call it, punch hole. I shouldn't call it thermometer jig, even though I can't say it. I'm tongue-tied today. I've got the flu again. It won't leave me, but I'm going to make those tickets. Very easy to use in your journals. As I said, you can cut one off and use it as a little piece on a tag or anything you desire with them. I like them whole because you can tuck it into a little pocket or something in your journal, and that would look really nice. Now I'm going to show you how I did them. I used a stamp as well. This stamp here, can you see that stamp? It's a ticket stamp. It's a very cheap ticket stamp. Now I didn't think I'd ever have a use for it, but I do. I've made these with them. So don't ever think you won't use your stamps, because one day you will. Now I'm going to do these tickets here later with this colour. Now where's my little chart to tell you the measurements, because I have a terrible memory. I'm going to use cardstock here, and what I've done is I've cut. Now I'll show you on these ones. I've cut the short end 1 3/8, so 1 3/8 of an inch, and the long end I've done 2 3/8. And so what I've done here is I've done the length of the ticket. There we go, there. So that's 2 3/8, and these are 3/8. There. I've already marked it on the scoreboard. Now I'm going to turn it around, because I just want to make one ticket for you today, and then you can do your own, because you're very clever people out there. And the long end we've already done, which is 2 3/8. Now we're going to do the short end, which is 1 3/8. So 1 inch and 3 of those eighths on your score thing, and then score it like that. Let me just see if I've done that right. 1 2 3. Yep. There we go. Okay, so 1 3/8 by 2 3/8. Pretty simple measurements to remember. Now earlier this fell off. I'm just going to put it back on. How does it go back on? Is a good question. Let me just see. Right, got it. Saw it. I'm going to put it on. I'll glue that back on later, because you really, really don't want that falling off. I had another one that fell off and I had to re-glue it back on. Alright, I'm just going to mark them because I have shocking eyesight, as I told you. Right, now let's line it up perfectly on our cutting. Cutter, and let's just get rid of that. Exactly like that. There you go. I've cut a strip for you. It was that simple, and I'm sure you can all do it. Right, now let's see. We want it to look like that, and that's one. Now I used computer paper on that one. I think I showed you, and that's cardstock. So this is cardstock. So we've done it. And then we've got our creases. So that was 2 3/8, this section here. That was 1 3/8 there. And then we just scored all that and we're going to wind it up like that, and there's our little booklet of tickets. And now we have to stamp them, but we also have to cut them. Now on this punch here, you've got a full round punch. You also have 2 halves punch. You also have quarter punches. It all depends where you put your little punch, and we only want to use half of that circle. Sorry, a quarter of that circle to cut out these ends. So you look at the circle, hold it straight before you, in front of you, and then you use a quarter of that circle and you just take out a quarter of the paper off the edge. Let me just see if I can do this one. Like that. So we only use, sorry, where are you? There we go. So you're only using quarter of the circle on this punch. Now on these ones here, where the bends are, where the end is, in the middle of this, we're going to use half a punch. So half of that circle in the punch, half of it, we're going to use, and we're going to cut out on that strip right on that end, like that. See that? That's half of the punch, half of that circle. Turn it over and do the other. Make sure you get in the middle and cut it out like that. Then just go along and do half a punch, or use half your punch, not the full circle, and punch out half. I can't see very well. I haven't got my eyes on, my glasses. Right, let me just see. So start cutting half a punch. Right, now all we have to do is come back to the end and use quarter of that circle. So just guess it. You don't have to measure, well, you can measure it, but, and you can cut it manually if you want. But you don't need to. Just keep practicing. You'll get better. And there we go. There's our tickets all defined, all cut, all got some decorative way about it. Now the next thing is we're going to do our stamp. And I showed you our stamp. It's just a cheap ticket stamp. That one there. I'm going to use some Stays On because the Stays On is very, very clean product to use. It's very, very easy to use. Very simple to use. And we're going to go for it without even thinking about it. Like that. And do it again. Like that. And the Stays On's permanent ink, and it dries so quickly. I love it. Bit of a smell, of course. But what product doesn't smell? Some more than others, some less than others. This is not too bad a smell. One more. There we go. That easy. Well, it was simple. Mightn't be easy sometimes if you don't practice, but it's simple. It's a simple thing to do, stamping. You just got to practice if you're no good at it. Or you find you're no good at it. You probably are. Right, we've wiped our stamp off. I'll sit it back over there to use later. Now, there's our stamps. Now, what else do we have to do? One more step. We've got to punch hole these circles in the middle here. These ones here. Those ones there, there, there. And it's going to be a full circle, but you only need to use half of it because you're going through 2 tickets. So what you're going to do is you're going to fold your ticket over, and you're only going to get it in the middle like this, and you're only going to use half that punch. Maybe that was too big. Probably was. Well, that's what practice is all about, isn't it? I'm not seeing it properly because I haven't got my glasses. Right, that one looks a bit better. That one there. Looks perfect, actually. Now, fold the next one over. Let me see what that one looks like, because sometimes you need to punch them again. I think that needs just a tiny bit more. And you can do it. It's not going to ruin it. It's not going to wreck it. Like that. And there we go. There's our tickets. All perfectly cut. Stamped. And don't they look fabulous? I love them. Right, I've got to do so much more tickets. It's not funny, but I want to use some more different paper. I will do some more yellow ones. And I've got 2 pink already. That's enough, I think, of the pink. But there we go. And all they do is wrap up like that. And you've got a little booklet of tickets, same as this one. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can edge them. I've edged this one, as you can see, or can you see? You probably can. You can edge it. You can use photo, vintage photo. You can use stays on. You can use whatever colour you think might suit it. Just practice it on an odd piece of paper, the same, and see what it looks like. And this one is a photo finish colour on the yellow. That's what it looks like. Maybe the black would be better. But anyway, have a look and practice. So there's our tickets. Have a go. You only need a cheap stamp. And even if you don't have a cheap stamp, you can still cut out these tickets and you can embellish them. You can edge them with whatever finish or ink stain you want to use. You can write ticket on it. You can do whatever you want. You can get a template from Pinterest or just on images of tickets, and or buy just a cheap stamp. That was $2, that stamp, with a whole bunch of other stamps. They were very cheap and nasty, actually. This rubber stamp is actually, I stretched it when I pulled it off. That's how cheap it was. But it still works effectively. You can see it's a bit wobbly where I stretched it. But anyway, there's the tickets. Please have a go of them. Until I see you next time, please take care, everyone. It's getting close to Christmas, and it's getting a wonderful feel in the air, and watch yourself on the roads. See you next time in the next video.